Can you hear the music? Can you hear the rhyme? Just taking one day at a time. Just taking one day at a time. Hey everyone, welcome to another guitar tutorial. Today we're doing a song by Liam Gallagher and Squire, and this one's called One Day at a Time. So the song's in standard tuning, and there's a few parts to it. So you have an introduction, you have a verse, chorus, and then an instrumental. Okay, and there's like a little riff that I'm going to show you as well. Okay, so we'll start with the introduction. And the introduction is really short actually. It's just made up of a riff, okay? And if you can't do the riff, then you could play some chords over it as well. But I'll show you the riff first. So the riff sounds like this. Okay, so that's how the riff sounds. And I'm going to show you how to play that riff in a second, but if you feel like you can't play the riff at the moment, maybe you're like more of a beginner to guitar, then you can play some chords over it just to sort of fill in for now. Okay, and that will be a G minor and an F minor. Okay, so all that is trying to bar down the entire 3rd fret, if you can, and then put 2 fingers, so a finger on the A string and D string of the 5th fret. Okay, so you have this sound. Okay, so in the same rhythm of that riff, you'll be playing like this. So, sorry, that shape is the same for F minor as well, but you slide down to the 1st fret, okay? So 1st fret bar down, 3rd fret A and D strings, okay? So you have... Okay, so the riff ends on that G minor anyway. Okay, so yeah, that's just if you can't feel like you can't play that riff, you can just do that for now. Okay, so to play the riff, you're mainly on the G string, okay? And so it's not that difficult to play, and you'll definitely get it with practice. Right, so what you want to do is hit the G string twice on an open string, so like this. Yeah. Then you want to go to 2, so 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and then 3rd fret on the G string. So after those 2 hits, like this. Yeah. You want to add a bit more of a flow to it, so like this. Yeah. And then at this part, you just want to press down on the 2nd fret on the G string, but also hammer on that 3rd fret. Okay, so you're going to hammer on and hammer off, so like this. So you pluck the 2nd fret, but you pluck the string while it's on the 2nd fret, but you hammer on as well. Okay, like this. Yep. And then you go to the D string on the 3rd fret, and then you go to that final G minor that we showed you before. Okay, so I'll do it a bit more in slower fashion for you. So it's like this. One more time. Yeah, so you should be able to get that from what I just showed you. And yeah, remember what I said, if you can't do that, then just use those chords that I showed you before. Okay, so then you go into the verse, and this is how the verse sounds. Flower on my back and white in the sky. Everybody needs someone to love. A little romance you'll regret some decisions till the day you die. And then you go into the chorus. Okay? So the chords for the verse are a D major. So you have 2nd fret on the G and D strings and 3rd fret on the B. Then you go to an A major, so 2nd fret on the D, G and B strings. Then you go to a G major, which is 3rd fret on the low E, high E and B strings, and then 2nd fret on the A string, okay? And then you go back to that D major, okay? So that's the first part of it, and then you go to a G, D, A. And you actually repeat that twice, okay? And right at the end of that, you do that riff again, okay? Or do that chord, those 2 chords, G minor and F minor, to cover that riff section, okay? So if it was the chords, it's okay. So then you go into the chorus, and that sounds like this. Lord have mercy, it's gonna be alright. Lay down and dream with me, it's gonna be alright. Can you feel the music? Can you hear the rhyme? Just take it one day at a time. Just take it one day at a time. Okay, so the chords for the chorus, they start with an A. So I showed you that A before. A major. So you play an A for 2 beats. Then you go to a D for 2 beats. Then you go to a G for 2 beats. Then a D for 2 beats. Then you play an E major. So that's a different chord that I haven't showed you yet in this video. So 2nd fret on the A string and D string, and then 1st fret on the G string, okay? So that's an E major, and you play that for 4 beats. And then you go to a G for 2 beats, a D for 2 beats, G for 2 beats, D for 2 beats, then an A for 2 beats, and then a G for 2 beats, okay? Then you go to the final part of the chorus, which is that G minor chord that we showed you before, barring down that 3rd fret and A and D strings on the 5th fret, yeah? You play that for 4 beats. Then you go to a D minor, so that's 1st fret on the high E, 2nd fret on the G string, and 3rd fret on the B, okay? Okay? And then you go back to that G minor. And then finally you go on that A major. And then it goes into the 2nd verse. Okay, so after the first chorus, you go into the 2nd verse. Okay, and that's exactly the same as the first verse. It's just right at the end, so you can play that riff that I showed you, which will be the same. But if you're going to play the chords, what you actually want to do is, so you play that G minor, F minor, and you would usually go back to that G minor, but at the end of the 2nd verse, instead of going back to the G, you go to a D major, okay? So it's like this. Okay, so that's G minor. So I'll show you that G minor again. 3rd fret and bar down, and 5th fret A and D strings. Okay. Then the F minor is the same shape. It's just moved down to the 1st fret, and then you go to that D major. So 2nd fret on the high E, and the G string, and then 3rd fret on the B. And what you can do is hammer on that high E on the 3rd fret. So you have I think it's called a D sus4 actually. So it's like, and then you go into the 2nd chorus. Okay, so the 2nd chorus is the same as the 1st chorus with just a section taken out of it, which is the end section of that. So you know that section where you go you go into a G minor, okay, and then you go to a D minor, G minor, and an A. You have all of that taken out, including the riff. And so it's just that part before where I think you're on an A and then a G. So that part is actually switched around. So you go from a G, A, and then a G, and then you move into an instrumental. Okay, so that last bit is like, can you hear the music? Can you hear the rhyme? Okay, so after the 2nd chorus, you go into the instrumental section, and all the chords involved are ones you've used before, okay, in this video. So it goes like this. And then it goes into the final chorus. Okay, so all that is A major, G major, all for 2 beats each, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, then A and G again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Then you go to D major for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then G for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can kind of just stop strumming at the end of G, sort of halfway through it, to get ready for the chorus. And then you go into the 3rd chorus. Okay, so finally the 3rd chorus is actually more similar to the 1st chorus than the 2nd, okay? So it has that end section in there, but right at the end of it, it's slightly different, okay? So I'll play it from that end part, okay? So it's, just take it one day at a time. Just take it one day at a time. Okay, so the difference there, so you play that G minor, then D minor. Whoops, that's not D minor. This is D minor. Then you go back to the G minor. And instead of going straight to the A, or finishing on the A, sorry, is what you would do in the 1st chorus, sorry. You go to the A, but then you go to a D as well afterwards, right? So, at a time. And that's it. That's the entire song. So, yeah, hopefully that helped, and I will see you guys very soon.